Y'all, I just made a big mistake. I was already recording the beginning of Kazuha's story quest, and then someone messaged me. And then I was gonna stop the recording on my iPad, and then I realized I was not recording. Thankfully, I haven't gone that far in the quest. Basically, we went somewhere, and we got attacked by this random samurai, and he's asking us where Kazuha is. Don't worry, I quit the game before the cutscene ended, so we can just go through that spiel again. Anyway, today is the update day. Kazuha is here today. I'll be pulling for him later with 2 of my friends, and I have almost 200 wishes for him.
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kaedahara Kazuha?
Okay, anyway, like I said earlier, that's my husband. Kaedahara Kazuha is my husband. What business do you have with him?
He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an animal vision.
Why are you looking for him?
That's none of your business. Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my time.
Damn. If you're gonna try to hurt Kazuha, I will throw hands with you, sir. Again.
Guy's problem? Coming around here, waving that weird sword in our faces, and he didn't even apologize. Seems like a real nutcase. Anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go find Kazuha right away and tell him to watch his back.
Actually, I have a hunch.
Oh? What kind of hunch?
I think this guy may have a special connection to Kazuha.
A special connection? You mean beyond already knowing each other?
Their fighting styles are kind of... Are they? They're similar?
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all.
2?
Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, as soon as we entered the harbor, we ran into a huge crowd of Inazumas, all of them wanting to know about Kazuha. If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her getting this kind of attention.
Oh, sir, it's because of something else. I'm telling you right now, it's not because of the battle on Nizuchi Beach.
Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but she just laughs it off.
It's okay. Beto rushes it off because it's her son.
Oh, so you still don't know what he did.
He protected us, Paimon.
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be?
You could compare it to the technique Beto used to strike down Haishan.
Really? Wow. When you put it like that, it all makes sense. In that case, his newfound stardom is well deserved.
He's famous.
He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryo Commission. They said they had something important to discuss with him. I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him.
Oh, okay.
Seems like they really respect the guy.
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely unimaginable.
Yeah, after all, the Raiden Shogun's mindset has changed. There he is. Kazuha, my love. It's nice to see you again.
Oh? It's you.
Hi.
The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the years. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaedahara name.
Squishy. I love him so much.
Considering Mr. Kaedahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the Almighty Shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievements, but also receive recompense for the excessive punishment borne by his clan in the past.
Okay.
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the Almighty Shogun, and the Shogunate at large. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does not come without some strings attached?
Oh.
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek only to correct a past injustice.
Okay. Yeah, you can trust Kamaji.
With the Kaedahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaedaharas will be bladesmiths once more, and your wanderings will finally come to an end.
Is that what Kazuha really wants, though? Doesn't he like wandering?
Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently circulating through the populace will disappear.
Oh.
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered whether there was another Kaedahara Kazuha in town.
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaedahara really parried the Shogun's strike. Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, also that Kaedehara Kazuha was using a delusion began to spread.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, well, it's okay. It's his friend's vision.
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using a delusion turns you old and frail, and Kazuha still looks fine.
Yeah, Kazuha still looks pretty.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more inconceivable notion still.
Wait till they met me.
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me?
Do you have any siblings? Could it be someone you trained with under the same master? Do you have any siblings?
No. This puzzles me as much as it does you. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing.
Okay.
We undergo rigorous training to standardize every motion the blade is put through, so that each can be fairly assessed for quality. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaedehara sword art, focused on blade testing, but with a full repertoire of combat forms. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So it's hard to imagine that the similarity you speak of was coincidence alone.
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaedehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest.
Are we not going to mention the bright purple glowing sword the man was holding?
To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaedehara's personal information.
Y'all, leave him alone. Respect his privacy.
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Yeah, like, leave him alone.
Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by it.
Is this your way of giving praise?
I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me. In fact, I'm quite relieved that you were the one he targeted.
Yeah.
It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life because of me.
Aww.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty Shogun.
You flatter me. Truth be told, I don't know quite what came over me in that moment.
Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around the same time.
Oh.
One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan. 2 grown men going missing at the same time. Their cases are likely connected, but I don't know much in the way of details. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one you are looking for.
Though all bladesmiths trace their craft back to the same source, over time, each of us has arrived at a different blade-making philosophy, spawning the development of different branches of the same art. As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of water as it turns stone to sand. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life. As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called the isshin art.
That's right. Isshin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins. For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an isshin blade. It gladdens my heart to see that although the Kaedehara clan has fallen on hard times, its ideals and virtues are alive and well.
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own personal sentiments, not by any noble aspirations on behalf of my clan.
Ah, yes. My nephew. I reported the case to the Tenryo Commission, but I haven't heard anything back so far.
Oh my god, do you guys hear that helicopter right now? There's a helicopter right outside my house.
I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. The next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse. And neither of them came back.
Fire?
Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there was very little evidence left behind, so nobody knows what really happened.
Do you have any thoughts on what Yuya may have wanted to give you?
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for him to get my hopes up.
Yeah, it has to do with the sword.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be objectionable. The person we are looking for, he attacked this friend of mine. Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only Yuya seems to match the suspect's profile.
What? No. Absolutely impossible. Yuya is not that kind of person. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind. He has never gotten into a fight before.
Is that so?
Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade without a very good reason. But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to just disappear, with neither farewell nor fair warning. I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced, or otherwise compelled by circumstances unbeknownst to me. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for Mora.
That's true. That is actually true. I did not realize that.
That's a long story. Ever since I've known him, he's been an avid collector of all sorts of things. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic and excited they made him, I was happy to believe that they were just extremely important to him. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse admiring his weapons even as debt collectors were descending upon our house. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said,
Damn.
if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with me. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. When he finally spoke, he awkwardly mumbled that he would pick out a few items to sell. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family?
It's important to set boundaries.
If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period. But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Amenoma Yuya is also a mild-mannered man who would not be likely to start an argument. Let's try a change of scenery and see if we can piece together what we've learned. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Thank you so much. I just want him to come home.
Don't worry, ma'am. We'll find your husband.
The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there?
This also doesn't seem connected to the case of the attacker. But what about the sword? The purple glowing sword that he was holding, and we're not going to mention that.
Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem to link the two events together.
Hey guys, come on! The sword! Did we tell Kazuha about the sword? About the glowing sword?
Wait. I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh shit.
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear.
Yeah.
As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Beto's tournament, so...
I knew we could count on you.
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound. It's right around here somewhere.
It has to be the sword.
But there's nothing here.
Just trust Kazuha. Where are we going? Oh.
Huh. So it's an underground warehouse.
The force is definitely coming from down below. The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place, but the residue it left behind still hasn't dissipated completely. From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn all upon whom it preys into violent monsters, but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Their interests become fanatical obsessions. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became an obsessive hoarder, amassing more and more possessions even as he put himself in grave debt.
But the thing is, how did he get exposed to the Tatarigami in the first place?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside.
Kazuha, that's dangerous.
If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the truth.
Yeah.
You needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater dangers than this. Relatively speaking, the risk here is trivial.
Alright. We'll go through this together.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
Not sure if that's a good or a bad thing.
That was too scary! Paimon was so sure that the warehouse boogeyman was about to jump out at us!
Paimon, what even is the warehouse boogeyman?
From this point, the trail appears to split into two.
We're
The
splitting?
main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance, but a small portion remained here, and seems to be dissipating slowly.
2 parts, so would that correspond to Mr. Nagato and Amenoma Yuya?
Quite possibly. Let's search the area.
Sorry for letting you down, Sachiko. Did he die? Did he die? Is the fabric dyed red because that's his blood?
Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight. Mr. Nagato kept chase as long as he could, eventually stopping here to write this letter when his strength gave out.
So, where is he?
He's probably dead.
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Add to that the fact that its aura seems to have attracted a horde of monsters, and I'm afraid he may no longer be with us.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point, they've since been disturbed by the hilly churls. There's nothing more for us to find here.
Oh my god. Let's ask the Tender Commission to do a thorough search later. No! I feel so bad for the family.
All the clues that at first seemed disparate and disconnected, it seems that now we know the thread that runs between them. I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not only explains the series of events leading to the two men's disappearance, but also zeroes in on the attacker's identity.
Wait, you figured it out? So these two cases are connected after all?
It should be.
I believe so. But it's something of an outlandish idea. I will only be able to confirm my suspicions once we've met him in person. He seems to have stayed here for a long time.
Why here? Is there anything special about this place?
I'm not sure. But on closer examination, I sense that the aura may have lingered here at several different points in time.
Show yourself! It's no use hiding anymore.
What? That surprised me so much. I was not expecting Kazuha to sound like that.
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have against Kazuha?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is Amenoma Yuya that stands before us. But what if instead of facing Amenoma Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade?
Oh my god, the blade is possessing him!
Now that you mention it, it is giving off its strange light.
The blade is possessing him?
The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind. And more recently using the sale as a means to affect, or rather, as a means to occupy Amenoma Yuya's body.
Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Isshin tradition. I was his pride and joy. In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams. As a descendant of the Kaedehara clan, you should be able to guess our greatest regret.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. All he needed was more time and a little faith. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, his skill, it culminated in his creation of me. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of my own.
How did you give a sword a consciousness?
After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving from one person to the next, I controlled the minds of countless hosts along the way, each bringing me one step closer to my ancestral home. I seek but one thing: to face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power, the might of Isshin art.
Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you've finished using them?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission. When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma. At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. By Amenoma Yuya's body, I have found you. And by your hand, I shall defeat the Raiden Shogun!
So he wants to possess Kazuha to beat the Shogun? Oh my god.
Kaedehara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. There can be no other to serve as my host for what is to come. Now, give your body over to me!
Not when I have something to say about it, sir. Are we using Kazuha? Yes! Yes!
Stabilize!
Screw you! Can I look at Kazuha's build? Can I look at Kazuha's build? What is he using? You guys are giving him... You guys gave him a fillet blade?
Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me, but this man. He is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can take a new vessel at will.
Then we will smash you into pieces.
The end result is the same. I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a finger. And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback. My consciousness shall endure. By any means necessary, and any medium available, I shall return and fulfill my destiny!
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Isshin art. But from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance, as well as a thinly veiled mania and despair. If you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate, single-minded ambition. You believe I am your only hope.
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you? On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Isshin Art's secrets. The little that you know barely scratches the surface. In that regard, why would I ever need your help?
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. If you are indeed a cursed blade that can possess its owner. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. You weren't biding your time. You were trapped. Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles did you finally have an opportunity to reach out to Amenoma Yuya and make your escape.
What of it?
Well, that brings me to my second point. There's a despair in you that is so strong it threatens to overwhelm you. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand and too heavy for you to bear. Each step you have taken has come at a great cost. I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, the greater your fear of losing everything you had achieved grew, and the more you wished to run from the truth. But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since become a delusional fantasy.
Damn.
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from achieving my goal.
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Isshin art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless atrocities and showed a blatant disregard for human life.
Zanky.
Even if you were to sever that divine light, is this truly the outcome that your maker would have desired?
You...
Sure, you inherited the secrets of Isshin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, you treated the ones who wielded you as mere tools to do your bidding. How could you possibly unleash the full potential of Isshin art when you act in perfect discordance with the principle of harmony between a blade and its bearer?
Damn! Get him, Kazuha!
Silence, you blabbering fool! I must achieve my goal. This was his life's dream, and the very purpose for which I was brought into being. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly. But you also underestimate my resolve.
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers me nothing. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not self-reflection, and certainly not your so-called reality.
I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state. So let us make a bet, and I will put your strength to the test.
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross blades. A taste of my power will more than convince you.
Wait, so Kazuha's gonna let him possess him?
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is a risky strategy. You're dealing with a cursed blade that can possess people. Yeah, this is a risky tragedy. This is a risky strategy.
This is the only way to save Amenoma Yuya. If we don't do this, he'll forever be the blade's puppet. The cursed blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This suggests his heart is still not completely devoid of honor. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Nagato and Amenoma Yuya fell prey to it.
Oh my god.
Since I don't have any similar kinds of obsessions, I should be able to put up some resistance for a while.
Kazuha, stay safe.
Even if things take a turn for the worse, I still have you both here with
Don't
me.
say that. I'm not here to kill you. I did not come here. I did not sign up to kill you, okay? No, you are gonna make it out of here alive and well.
We have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
It's not like I can stop you.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet because there are things I wish to learn too. Now, take me in your hand.
Alright, Kazuha? Kazuha! Are you okay?
Kazuha?
Kazuha!
I'm okay. I felt a little dizzy at first, but only for a moment. It's all right. So far, this was as I expected.
Something feels off, let me know immediately.
I will. Thank you.
Praise! Be okay. Kazuha! Wait, are we only using Kazuha? Holy shit! 2k attack! Let's go with the noblesse oblige!
Are you okay? It looked like you were really struggling the entire fight.
Yes. And it looks like he's reached his limit.
The shin's grown a bit dimmer again. It doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as it did at the start.
Perhaps this time, we'll finally have a chance to see his true form.
True form? What are you talking about?
What?
What the? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk.
It really looks like it's about to break.
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi, much less the almighty Shogun. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But the long journey from Snezhnaya back to Inazuma has left you battered and broken. You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. For perhaps then you would still be able to wield commendable power. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty, nor can I empathize with the one who made you. The only one who truly understood you had already passed away by the time you were born.
Huh? What's that supposed to be?
Paimon, please! Oh my god.
Here they are! Take them down!
Oh, hello.
Where do they keep coming from?
You shouldn't fight with this blade anymore.
Yup. We can help this time.
Don't worry. I'll use my own blade.
Alright, let's go, Kazuha.
It's just more of the same.
Yes.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. Though we fought briefly together, you have seen me for who I really am. No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I tell it to anyone. You are the first person to know the truth. I thought that if I could achieve isshin harmony with you, perhaps there would still be a ray of hope for me. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi. And what a magnificent blade it is.
Yeah, a freaking fillet blade.
Perhaps I shall never reach that level of glory.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but they are not everything. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that time. Plus, in the moment that I most needed it, I received aid from another power.
Aww.
I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on a journey bound for a destination you were destined never to reach. The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed your true potential. And yet there was no way for you to turn your back on his ambition. You have known this for a long time. It is the true source of your despair.
He gave me everything. My life, my form, my consciousness, and purpose. How could I possibly deny him his wish? I said to him, "Do not worry. From here on, I shall forge your legacy."
Damn, the voice acting is so good. What the hell?
How could I go back on my word?
Damn, give me... Make this guy voice an actual playable character. His voice acting is so good.
When I touched the hilt for the first time, It's as if I was transported to a strange dimension. It was somewhere I've never been. A bladesmith lay quietly on the bed, his frail face barely visible under the moonlight. His breaths were weak, and his life near its end. A newly forged blade lay by his side, listening attentively to his final words. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return to his homeland. His sole wish was to one day return his single, proudest creation back to the land of his birth. So he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma, no matter how long or how hard the journey. But he never wished to rival the gods. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith, that they were still worthy of being trusted. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because it lost its original master. No one was there to correct its errors when it was losing its way.
May I ask you to help me fulfill the ambitions of myself and my creator?
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix, too? Jeez, don't push your luck, mister.
Paimon, calm down.
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. And if you don't agree, I will still release Ame no Mayuya as promised. You are a fine warrior. I would like to request your hand in battle and experience a true duel between samurai.
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
I will release Ame no Mayuya and restore his consciousness. Perhaps after that, you can convince him to commit to a fight with you. You must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true to your agreement by releasing me, he must still have some remaining semblance of honor. If a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I am willing to put myself forward. I do not wish to be a mere victim in this story.
Ready? Okay. All right then. Successor of Isshin art, Kaedahara Kazuha.
Successor of Amenoma art, Ame no Mayuya.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor also. Although he appears battered and broken, in your hands it seems he's regained a glimmer of brilliance. His sense of savage cruelty has completely faded away. But that same sense of determination remains strong.
You also fought well. I'm sure he relished the experience. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you himself.
I must apologize to you for all that has transpired.
You need not seek my forgiveness, nor do I have the right to forgive you on your victim's behalf. It is too late for all of that.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will
That's
see
so
my
weird.
transgressions as mine alone, and not let them stain the legacy of Isshin art.
He's speaking through Kazuha.
I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Isshin art still has a worthy successor in Kaedehara Kazuha. I beseech you, please understand this.
Yes, I too trust Mr. Kaedahara to do the right thing.
Thank you, successor of Amenoma art.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma smithy.
Ooh, get an upgrade?
A prized isshin blade, turned weapon that controls the human mind. Considering their forging philosophy, this was indeed within the realm of possibility. This is a great pity. But I have some good news as well. Ryuji from the Bontan Sango Detective Agency tells me that they've found the missing Mr. Nagato.
He's alive?
Really? Is he okay?
Yes, badly wounded,
Oh
but
my
he
god.
will live.
He's alive, thank god.
And now that Hyuya is back, it seems like the final ending to this story is a happy one after all.
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade whispering in your ear again?
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me for a brief moment.
Oh.
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. And he assures me that he won't use my body for anything nefarious. I have decided to let him do it.
Alright.
Guess there's nothing we can say to change your mind, huh?
I trust your judgment.
Okay. I am ready. Let us begin. Please, stay true to your promise.
Cutscene? Are we gonna get a cutscene? Ooh! Kazuha!
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness.
Kazuha!
You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for isshin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Isshin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an isshin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Isshin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
Wow. Oh my god.
It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions, and thus chose to bury this name deep within his heart. Only in the final moments, before his consciousness faded, was he willing to entrust it to another. The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward also fueled the stubborn determination that blinded him to the path ahead. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes than see him punished for them.
The remnants of defeated gods are nothing to scoff at.
I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my personality. I've always been captivated by grand aspirations. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me, just as the sight of those who fought to repeal the Vision Hunt decree did. Your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspires me in the same way. After everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits fascinate me a little more than they should.
Oh, Kazuha.
Kazuha.
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that you will have my assistance whenever you need it.
Thank you.
Wait, shouldn't we also go update Kujo Kamaji?
Right.
Oh, you're right. We need to tell him about the findings of our investigation.
So, about that, about the missing people, they were possessed by a sword.
Kagotsurube Isshin, a weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaedehara clan. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. I also promised him that I will continue to study and pass on the secrets of isshin art. The Kaedehara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so it is only proper for me to continue on this path. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya. That would not suit me.
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not our intent.
I am aware, but I still desire to continue walking my own path.
Very well, I can understand. Then let's pretend this offer was never raised.
Where will you travel to next, Kazuha?
I'll probably take to the seas with Captain Beto again for now.
Alright.
As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
Alright. We'll probably see him again in the future, won't we? Alright, Kazuha. See you later. Please come home with constellations.